The hidden side of Rwanda, what the news won't tell you. Rwanda is often hailed as one of Africa's greatest success stories. Its pristine streets, burgeoning tech scene, and dramatic recovery from the horrors of the 1994 genocide are frequently cited in global media. President Paul Kagame is praised for transforming Rwanda into a hub for innovation, gender equality, and economic growth. However, beneath this polished surface lies a complex and often suppressed reality, one that many international outlets overlook or avoid discussing. This video sheds light on the hidden side of Rwanda, the untold stories of political repression, media censorship, regional interference, and human rights violations that challenge the dominant narrative. 1. The mirage of democracy. Although Rwanda holds regular elections, many international observers and human rights groups argue that its political system is anything but democratic. President Kagame has been in power since 2000, following a constitutional amendment that allowed him to run for a third term in 2017. He won that election with over 98% of the vote, an implausibly high number in any genuine democratic system. Opposition candidates face arrest, exile, or worse. The most notable case is that of Diane Rwigara, a businesswoman and human rights activist who tried to challenge Kagame in the 2017 elections. She was disqualified and later arrested on trumped-up charges of inciting insurrection and forgery. Though she was eventually acquitted, her case served as a stark warning to other would-be challengers. 2. Crackdown on dissent. Rwanda is one of the most tightly controlled societies in Africa. Any form of dissent, whether from journalists, activists, or ordinary citizens, is swiftly suppressed. Freedom of expression is severely limited, with journalists facing harassment, surveillance, imprisonment, or forced exile. According to Reporters Without Borders, Rwanda ranks 146th out of 180 countries in press freedom. Prominent critics of the regime, such as journalist Charles Ingabire and former intelligence chief Patrick Karegeya, have died under mysterious circumstances while in exile. Several human rights groups, HRW, CPJ, RSF, noted that Rwandan government critics and exiled journalists had been systematically targeted, often suggesting possible involvement by Rwandan security or intelligence services, though no conclusive evidence has proven this. 3. Surveillance and fear. Inside Rwanda, fear is pervasive. Ordinary Rwandans are cautious about discussing politics in public or even in private. Kagame's government has established a vast surveillance apparatus that includes intelligence agencies, informants, and even digital monitoring. Citizens are encouraged to report divisionism or genocide ideology terms that are broadly defined and can be used to criminalize criticism. This climate of fear extends into the diaspora. Rwandan exiles often report harassment, threats, and pressure to refrain from criticizing the government. In some cases, their families back home are intimidated to ensure compliance. 4. Economic success, but for whom? Rwanda's economic growth is real but uneven. While Kigali glitters with new buildings and tech hubs, poverty remains widespread in rural areas. The government's emphasis on image-building projects, such as the Kigali Convention Center or the Rwandan Air Force's investment in Rwandair, often overshadows the realities of food insecurity, unemployment, and rural hardship. Moreover, land expropriation without fair compensation is a growing concern, especially in the name of urban development. Many farmers have been displaced under government programs with little legal recourse. 5. Human rights concerns. International human rights organizations continue to raise alarms about Rwanda's track record. Reports of arbitrary detention, torture, and enforced disappearances persist. According to Human Rights Watch, prisoners are often held incommunicado in unofficial detention centers, where they are interrogated and tortured. The military and police have been implicated in numerous abuses, including extrajudicial killings of petty criminals. However, the lack of an independent judiciary means that accountability is virtually non-existent. 6. Regional interference in Congo. One of the most contentious aspects of Rwanda's hidden history is its alleged involvement in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. United Nations reports have linked Rwanda to the arming and backing of rebel groups such as M23, which have caused massive displacement and violence in eastern Congo. Despite Rwanda's repeated denials, the weight of evidence including captured weapons, testimonies, and satellite imagery points to a pattern of destabilization that serves Rwanda's economic and security interests. The mineral-rich regions of eastern Congo offer both a strategic and financial incentive. 7. The cult of Kagame. Rwanda's post-genocide recovery has largely been credited to President Kagame. But this success has come at the cost of building a personality cult. Kagame's image is omnipresent on billboards, in state media, and in government-sponsored events. Criticism of the president is virtually taboo, and loyalty is rewarded with positions and prestige. This personalization of power has created a brittle political structure, where institutions depend heavily on one man. The long-term sustainability of this model is questionable, especially in a region where strongman rule often leads to instability. Conclusion: a call for balanced discourse. Rwanda's achievements in health, education, gender equality, and technology are commendable. It is one of Africa's cleanest, safest, and most efficient countries. But true progress must be measured not just in GDP growth or skyscrapers, but in freedom, accountability, and justice. The world must engage with Rwanda not just as a model African state, but as a complex society with both triumphs and transgressions. Acknowledging the hidden side does not diminish Rwanda's progress. It deepens our understanding of what real transformation should look like.